What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. This episode ran a little long, so I'm not mad at Beverly Hills, but it has definitely become the Sutton and Kyle show. So, like the video as the intro plays, we have a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
One, please. When you reach out to me, make it make common sense, please.
Your intro.
Make it make sense.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Come on, y'all piss me off. Shoot.
Are you okay?
Lord, get away from me. Damn!
Mima!
Okay, y'all. I'm really not mad at this, but now I'm starting to see the plan. The plan, I think, for Kyle was always to get rid of Vanderpump. And now we are seeing that this has become the Kyle show. And most times her life isn't interesting enough for it to be the Kyle show, particularly. Kyle's strong point is having family that is kind of like interesting. Now we're getting a lot about her lesbian lover, all this kind of stuff. And I'm seeing Vanderpump had to go. Now, I don't know if she was going to offer or get her off the show. She went to get her off the show, but she needed this so that she could be the queen. And the reason that she doesn't like Sutton is because Sutton is stepping on her toes. That's just my opinion. She wants her off the show. So we have Sutton. I like Sutton. I really do like Sutton, but I kind of feel like Sutton is trying a little too hard. And technically, you're in people's business, you're funny enough, and you're rich, and you're kind of quirky and weird. So that's all we really need, technically. So before we really get into this episode, let's start with the mess. I want to know who wore better. We got Erica. We have the new girl, Tanya Sam. And we have Drew and Kenya. This dress has been everywhere. So definitely put in the chat who wore it better. I'm gonna give it to Kenya. Honorable mention to Erica. Tanya's cute, I guess, but Sutton read her saying, "Are they still making this dress?" You literally started your debut wearing something that a million housewives have worn. Just saying. Okay, so we got Erica, Kenya, Drew, the new girl. Okay, the new girl got a vote. So y'all are liking Tanya Sam. Kenya. So it looks like Kenya has won. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Anna Marie a chance. I'm gonna give her a chance, but she is basically the embodiment of Tanya. But I seem to like Tanya more. This girl was too far up Kyle's butt, and that space is reserved for Morgan. Like the video. We got 120 people in here. Like the video. Let's move on. So the general consensus is Sutton is a drunk. I don't really like this, y'all. To be honest with you, I don't like the way that they are so flippantly. We got Teddy saying that she carries vodka in her purse. Now we have, Kyle and Dorit kind of insinuating that. What I don't like about Kyle is people are allowed to insinuate whatever they want about people who she doesn't really care about. But if you do it to somebody she does care about, it's a problem.
crazy.
Okay. Were people doing coke in your bathroom?
Oh, come on.
That was the insinuation. Kyle's response.
Someone said to me that is the
I would be jumping across the table.
accusation. For Lisa Rinna to sink this low.
But people can make these insinuations about Sutton that are close to you. Kyle, I got your number, ma'am. I definitely see exactly who you are in these situations. And yeah, you defend your friends, but you jump in the middle because you're also producing the show. If you're going to defend one about accusations, you need to defend all about accusations. Because we've had some major accusations. We've definitely had some major accusations about Rinna, and Kyle had nothing to say.
Do you think that it's, like, induced in some way?
The list goes on, and we never saw Kyle jump into her defense.
She's a bit paranoid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she did something.
Maybe it's because she's on drugs.
Right. Kyle is not actually Sutton's friend. And as soon as Sutton realizes that, the better off she'll be. But Kyle will get with you depending upon who you are. Depending specifically on who you are. Because she wasn't playing. Oh, I'll leave that one alone. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. But I want you to remember how she defends those people who she really likes. What's the difference between Kyle being concerned about Sutton's behavior and blaming alcohol, and Sutton being concerned about Kyle blaming the drug? Chandler, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. And now we have Kyle basically acting as if she has an addiction to alcohol. Now, if she were to say I have an addiction to alcohol, I might be more inclined to say, okay, I get it. But it feels like she is ramping this up for a storyline. Girl, we see right through you. You're not doing alcohol because your girlfriend don't do alcohol. Is anybody missing that? Kyle is going through her midlife crisis, but we'll get into that when we get a scene with her girlfriend. It comes across a little pious when she's coming down on the other girl. We don't really care. Don't drink. You're not that interesting either way. It doesn't mean too much to me. It kind of reminds me of with her coming down on Sutton for her alcohol consumption. It's kind of like when Luann was telling Dorinda, you're turning. Oh, you're turning. If she were to say she had an actual issue with alcohol, and we've seen it in her family, I might be more inclined to allow her to have this storyline, but that's not what we're getting. I feel like Kyle is the it girl this season because of her issues with Mauricio and her potential lesbian relationship with that lady. Whatever. It's really giving me midlife crisis. And I think that for men, everybody just says, oh, it makes sense. They're wearing bikini underwear now. They're going to the gym more. This is Kyle. Kyle is having her midlife crisis. The lesbian relationship, the tattoos, she's not drinking. This is midlife crisis. And I think Sutton said it later, but I had it in my notes at the beginning of this. And it's okay. Live your best life. You were the wannabe for so many years. Kyle was the woman who didn't really have money. She married for love, unlike the rest of her sisters. And, she was a great mom and she was a supportive wife and she put her husband on. And that's why they're rich now. And now she's like, the kids are out of the house. And I want to, embark on. I want to get my back broke by this girl, Morgan. I don't know how else to say it. Let's stop pretending. We all know what's going on. And kudos to you. You're now worth $100 million. Your husband was broke, so he didn't have a prenup. So half of everything he's built is yours. Go for it, Kyle. Live your best life. Sutton and Garcel. She mentions that Kyle now has a new ring. Sutton, I like you. And I like that you're messy. So I'm going to allow it. You're in everybody else's business because nobody is doing that to you. So I like it. Go for it, Sutton. We want to know the stuff too. And Sutton seems like the only person that the producers can get to do it. What I will say is I will allow Sutton to be messy because we get from her what we don't get from Giselle. If Giselle was actually giving us her truth about her relationships and stuff, and she was in everybody else's relationship business, it would be more palatable to me. But because she doesn't, it's like, leave it alone. We know Sutton can't get a man, and we see her trying to get a man. So I'm cool with her being in the mess for people who have relationships and marriages. Go for it, Sutton. It's Dorit had, okay, this was so good and juicy. When it was mentioned about Dorit still having her ring that was allegedly stolen, I love this moment. Garcelle have more moments like this. But when you get called out, I'm going to need you to definitely stand in that shit. Period. Because you know Dorit is going to come after you. Dorit is definitely going to respond like, well, when you can afford to buy jewelry like that and then you stop shopping at Zara, you know she's going to do it. So stand in it. It was a much better read than anything that they can do for you. Y'all know I already don't like the way that this group of women tries to make Garcelle feel like she does not have money. And that's the first thing they're going to go for. Mark my words. When they were doing that whole buying used Birkin things and Kyle told Garcelle, you can always return it later. I did not like that. I did not like that at all. To me, that was one of those moments where I'm like, you don't need to tell me what the hell I can do. Everything that I'm buying is with my own money. Garcelle is clearly a millionaire. I think they said she's worth around like $5 million and she's a single mother. For you to tell her, oh, you can always return it. I did not like that. Go ahead and give it to Dorit, but just know that that's what they're going to come at you with, especially the first chance they get. And stand in it at the reunion. Stand in it. We got like 200 people in the chat. Definitely hit that like button. Let me see. I'm okay with Sutton, blah, blah, blah. I put in here, Sutton is looking for something from Kyle that she will never get, and that's friendship. And that's friendship. Erica and her team. Y'all really don't care about Erica's team, but I just want to point out that she did admit that her team was the one who planted that story about Kathy Hilton, my bad. That was pretty much it on Erica talking to her team. I want to point out this, though. Erica, your brand she's not necessarily a great reader. Her reactions are off. She just kind of gets angry and yells. Her brand for Housewives was that you were rich. And it was like the second coming of Kim Zolciak, except she was actually interesting. And she was married to her old man. It wasn't like she was sleeping with somebody else's old man. That's gone now, Erica. So I really don't see your part on this show, to be honest with you. You were a fan favorite because you were rich. You were, splitting your legs and talking about, I was about to say TWA, but I forgot. It wasn't that word. She used see you next Tuesday. You were spread eagle. It was fun. You were a woman of a certain age, living your best life, getting your back broke by the crypt keeper. But once that fell down, you're not fun to watch anymore. I don't need to see scenes of her with her whatever trying to rebuild her career. I'm just not. I don't really care. Garcelle and her son. I'm glad that Garcelle is actually having these talks with her son. Her son seems like one of these kids, like if you're around any kids today, they are very in the know. And what it reminded me of is a lot of people who have twins. It's a lot of work to have twins. Some people have multiple twins in their family, but to be a single mom and have twins, they probably don't feel like they get a lot of alone time with either one of them. So I'm glad that she's doing this. Giselle went through the same thing where one twin felt like they had a favorite. So, him saying that he found out about the divorce or his dad cheating at 8 years old. Well, Garcel, you put it in the papers. You publicized it. So, I mean, he was inept enough, or astute enough, I should say, at 8 to look it up and kind of just hold that in. I'm sure that made Garcel feel a certain way. But, I don't think she should take that personal, because you are a celebrity and things that you do or say will eventually get back to your kids, but you have to live your life partly for you. And her exposing her husband may have been part of her process to say, hey, he's a big shot in PR and this is what happened to me. Maybe more women came forward. So I don't think she should personally take it on the chin that her son was astute enough to go looking for that. But I like the relationship that they have, and I really enjoy seeing her spend one-on-one time with him and allowing him to speak freely on camera, because a lot of people would have shut him up. I wish he would have been this bold with Erica. I wish he would have cursed Erica out when she did that to him. Kyle and her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is a very interesting looking young lady. Kudos to her for bagging a multimillionaire. Everybody's always talking about men getting to the bag. Well, she got to the bag. So kudos to her. Very interesting young lady. I don't know if we're supposed to say the lesbian thing or not. I'm not really on the Beverly Hills radar, so I'm just gonna say it. I think that they are more than friends. And that's okay. I'm trying to be polite, but
I will say meow, because the pussy was in the building.
That's what I'll say. I don't know what else you want. If this is not who Kyle is dating, then Kyle has done the most and sacrificed her real relationship for camera time. If it's not her girlfriend, period. If she were concerned about salvaging something with Mauricio, then it is what it is. But, shout out to her for living her truth. I don't think that Kyle does not have a business manager. I definitely wanted to point that out. When she said that, I was like, there's no way that you have that much money and you don't have a business manager. Sometimes I think Kyle just be saying stuff because she wants to seem aloof, when in actuality, she's very measured. The girl Kyle getting another tattoo with her girlfriend, juxtapose that to Mauricio saying a couple weeks, don't do it. And now you're doing it again and showing. It seems A plus B equals C here. That's why I'm like, it might just be a storyline or a stunt that she is running. When Kyle describes, and y'all can tell me if you guys saw this or not, when Kyle describes her relationship with this young lady, she uses the term we a lot. It's not me and Maurice. She says me and Mo a lot. But when she describes things that she and the young lady have in common, it's we. Everything is we like to get in shape. We like to get tattoos. We are now sober. I was clocking each one of those we's. But when she describes Mauricio, it's always, oh, well, me and Mo, me and Mo, me and Mo. I think that's something to look out for. Mo telling, and I just grouped this together. We get to see Kyle earlier in the day with the girlfriend and later in the day with her husband. It seems too produced. It seems really, really produced. Did you get a tattoo of my name? No, Ninja. She ain't getting no tattoos of your name. She might get a tattoo of this woman's lady parts, but she's not getting a tattoo of you. She is tired of you and whatever you're doing on all of these trips, period. Sutton and the matchmaker. I'm just going to say this. Why would you think that it was smart on God's green earth and Beyonce's internet to have Dorit come over to your home and help you with your matchmaker? Why? What was the point of that? I'm sitting there watching it like, she's going to clown you. And that's really what we got to see. Sutton got clowned left and right about Dorit. I was getting like secondhand embarrassment. Just buy a man. Just buy a man. At this point, you can afford it. Get you some little cute boy from Southern Charm, just like Giselle did from Winter House, and live your best life. I feel like Sutton would probably, if Sutton got her back broke one good time, it would change everything. Just mark my words. If Sutton were to get her back broke, Sutton would come back a new woman dancing on tabletops, spreading eagle at Magic Mike. I'm just saying. She's too pent up. Kyle's girl. The girl that Kyle tattoo her. At this point, if somebody worth $100 million wants to tattoo me, go for it. You worth $100 million? That's the price to be purchased. $100 million. You have turned out Kyle. Oh, actually, Kyle and Mauricio are worth that. So Kyle will be worth $50 million. That's a good look because I never heard about this woman before. So for $50 million, basically, Kyle's new girlfriend is Erica Jane 20 years ago when she got married. That's what this is. It's a shakedown for money, and Kyle is going to spend it. If she could spend $1 million on Birkins and Hermes, she'll spend $1 million on her new special friend. Mark my words. Kyle's party. So, I'm so tired of Kyle acting as if she has a drinking problem. If you are drinking to be healthy, I'm here for it. But she is using this as a storyline now. And it's not like you are Kim, where Kim was having issues with alcohol. And if you remember, we got to see Gigi and Bella Hadid's home on, I think, like the first or second season of Housewives, that big, huge mansion. If you want to talk about hiding alcohol in your purse, Kim Richards had hidden multiple, I think it's called like a fifth. She had hidden multiple fifths of alcohol in Mohammed's house in multiple bathrooms. So Kim would leave and say, oh, I'm going to the bathroom. And he had like a major, huge mansion that had like, I think it's called like a hammam. It's where it's like a Turkish bath. She would have in the restroom for there a bottle of alcohol on the thing. Then she would go to like the pool house and put a bottle of like alcohol in there in the bathroom. She did this on multiple levels of the home and multiple bathrooms. That's anyway, we'll get to that a little later. So Anna Marie walks in. From this point on, I'm only going to call her Tanya Sam. This is a less interesting version of Tanya Sam, who is jumping in everybody's business. I know y'all see it from the way that she speaks to the way, like, her mannerisms. The only thing is Tanya was very lighthearted, and I see Jill Marie trying to get into Kyle's bush. The problem is there's already somebody there. So Anna Marie, wait your turn. We don't know if Kyle's into chocolate yet, but we do know that Morgan is firmly planted in her bush. So, and we don't know if Morgan is ready to make room for the likes of you. So just remember that, because you have really jumped in all feet into Kyle and whatever Kyle is going on. Kyle knew that there was going to be the shits at this thing, so she invites Faye Resnick.
Oh my God, that's who it is. It's Faye Resnick, the morally corrupt Faye Resnick.
We have Faye Resnick. We have, I think his name is Jesse. I don't know. He's on E! News. He used to be Kyle's assistant, but he has definitely like worked his way into having a actual kind of like commentator career. So I think that's pretty dope. But he's there for backup. We got Denise Richards. Now, y'all, there's certain things that I can't say, but if a housewife has said it at some point, I do not. When she says she didn't take any THB and she doesn't do drugs and she was trying to be cute, I guess alleging that she had, taken a couple puffs with Charlie. You're talking about puff, puff, pass, and I'm thinking something else was going on.
All right. At least I don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long, bitch.
I don't know what's going on with Denise Richards, but clearly something was off. Something was very, very, very off with Denise. And It kind of reminded me of Erica when Erica said she was mixing her antidepressants and alcohol. It just didn't, something wasn't clicking. Camille being there, she's one of my favorites, but it was giving me something was off. And you can't come into this without actually being on point, because these people will eat you up. They will eat you up. Just saying. Cynthia looked great. I was happy to see her. Hopefully they paid her. Hopefully you're collecting a check for all these cameos, because she's hanging out with every housewife possible, living her best life. But hopefully she's getting paid. Kyle sets Faye up. Now, this is supposed to be your friend, but you got her sitting across from Camille because you're again looking for another moment at her expense. Faye is not new to the game. Faye is true to the game. Just like Camille had said.
God, that's who it is. It's Faye Resnick. The morally corrupt Faye Resnick.
Spread eagle, looking for whatever attention she could get from the trial. You got to think, no offense, Kyle, she's come a long way, but these were all the wannabes. These were the women who didn't necessarily get hooked up with a major athlete like OJ, or they had cheated on their husband and lost their Beverly Hills lifestyle like Kris Jenner. These were the women who were on the come up at all costs. And Faye Resnick was definitely on that list. You might as well call her I don't know, she's racially ambiguous, but she was the female version of Kato Caitlin, looking for at all costs. So when she saw that she was sat next to or across from Camille, she knew exactly what was up. And you should be looking at Kyle like this. I see you. But I wouldn't have minded to get a second Faye Camille, because Camille does not give a F. Camille has been rich. Camille had also, she wasn't spread eagle in Playboy, but she had done some soft, if you catch my drift. So anyway, I wouldn't have minded it. But Faye was too smart for that. Sutton is sharing with Kyle information about her ex-husband, wanting her to move to London. He was going to strong arm her. So when she's having this conversation, what I'm thinking about is, shouldn't you be having this with like Garcel? But then I thought, oh no, Sutton is messy. Sutton was trying to have that conversation with her so that Kyle would share with her personal business. And I agree with Kyle. She was trying to give herself an out for her behavior. It's weird, to think that your husband telling you need to move is even an option for you, or your ex-husband, if you don't want to move. So what are you doing, Sutton? I think if this was a real moment, then the second part where she felt like her son might want to move to London to be with her husband really did impact her. But having this conversation with Kyle felt disjointed, and it never makes sense because Kyle doesn't really like you like that. You are setting yourself up to look like the wannabe. You came into the show buying these women purses. You definitely kind of cower when somebody really comes at you. You can't get a man. You let people know that your man or the one that you like ghosts you after one conversation. It's just not, I don't know. Sudden, it's not looking smart. Kyle being dishonest. We can say that Kyle doesn't want to talk about this, but right. Name them. Exactly. We can say that Kyle doesn't want to talk about this, but Kyle is loving this. That's exactly why Lisa Vanderpump is not on the show. Kyle is loving this. All attention on her. The problem is she's not strong enough to be Queen Bee, because when she really gets pressed, she breaks down and cries like at last year's reunion. Oh my God. The staff do not want to come and serve the ladies because they are screaming at each other. That was a funny moment for me. And Marie, aka Tanya Sam, getting in the mess, reiterating what people are saying. These women are 50 and above. They know just what the hell they are saying, Tanya. You do not have to paraphrase for them. You were looking for camera time and you got it, but you got it in the wrong way. Speak when spoken to, when it involves people who have a history that you don't really know. You don't even technically really know Kyle. So nobody's asking you to interject. And as far as I know, you're not a psychiatrist. You're just an invited guest at a guest party. So sit down in your dress from, as Sutton pointed out 8 seasons ago, that everybody else has worn, and just enjoy a good meal. If the servers will ever feel comfortable coming out and serving. Kyle then insinuates that Sutton has an eating disorder. It's okay when you do it, but nobody else.
Why don't you have a piece of bread and maybe you'll calm down a little? Shame on you.
It's okay when you do it, but nobody else can do it to you or the person that you like at the moment.
Why don't you have a piece of bread and maybe you'll calm down a little? Shame on you.
Sorry. That dinner is one of my all-time favorite housewife moments. So that's why I always do it. But yeah, basically, you know, if Sutton does have an eating disorder, Kyle, it would be really rich coming from you, considering you had an eating disorder. I know that I could be kind of shady. This is not a shady moment. If Kyle was being honest about her eating disorder all those years ago, typically, even when you have had therapy or you've worked through whatever, you know, the catalyst for your eating disorder is or was, body dysmorphia lives on in the person. I think probably I do have some body dysmorphia issues myself. So I'm speaking from experience here. Why would you do that to the next person? And if we were really speaking in an honest way here, over-exercising can be a sign of body dysmorphia. And over-exercising can also be a disorder in itself. So you are judging her for something that you have come forward to honestly talk about. Make it make sense. I can't. I'm trying, but I can't. So that's something to think about when you really think about saying something like that to somebody.
Why don't you have a piece of bread and maybe you'll calm down a little? Shame on you.
The same way that she put her head down in disgust when she said that to Lisa Rinna, who at that time was her friend. Just saying. I couldn't imagine receiving $300 a month. Well, I hear you. $300 a month per Sutton is actually after taxes. So she really is receiving $300,000 per month plus whatever else, you know, from the minor league teams, I think she owns a company that distributes like wood. So yeah. So just something to think about. Faye is at the dinner table backing up Kyle when they know that they have talked about everybody. Y'all were talking about was her name Brandy? Whichever one who had the husband named Russell. Y'all were talking about her getting beat up and abused and everything else. Y'all have talked about just about everything, but Kyle's relationship with her sisters, which was her only storyline, and Kyle's relationship with Mauricio is not a topic of discussion. Get out of here with that. We are going to continuously talk about your lesbian relationship.
But I will say, meow, because the pussy was in the building.
Anyway, y'all, that's the episode. I haven't decided if I'm going to do these in the morning, after, or the night before. So look out for that. Like the video. If you haven't yet, subscribe. If you haven't, we are well on our way now to 100,000 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys being here with me. I will see you if you are following the Diddy stuff, I am actively still working on my Diddy death toll video. And I've had 2 celebrities reach out. It's crazy. So if you're into that, know that that'll be coming. If I don't have it today, I'll definitely have it tomorrow. But I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Oh, hold on. I think actually, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I think Gabor might be going live soon. Let me see. I'm about to go over to Gabor's channel. Okay, he's going on in about maybe 30 minutes. So I'll be over there. He'll be live and we'll be talking some more. So I won't be there, but I'll be there in the comments. So have a good day, y'all.